Well, I guess we should probably talk about this new record of yours.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like that would be the route to go.
Probably a good idea, eh?
Yeah, why not?
It must be a little bit, I guess you must be getting used to it by now, but a different sort of thing for you after kind of 8 years kind of being out of the limelight, all the press and people wanting to speak to you constantly.
It's definitely different, yeah. I've been pretty much, just living my life and working and taking care of just day-to-day kind of activities. So this stepping back into this arena for sure is different. It's in a good way because the response has been for the album has been pretty much all positive. There's been a few negative things, but that's to be expected. So that's what makes it worth it, when you get a good response. So yes, it's all been good so far.
Excellent. Well, that's good. And yeah, I guess no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be negative, as good as something might be.
Exactly, and for the most part, and I read quite a bit, and every now and then you start to take something personal. Well, how come this guy didn't like Incense and Myrrh? It's like one of my favorite songs, and how come he said I sounded whiny when I was singing? But that's what's so amazing about music and everything else, and people. People are so different in so many different ways, and one person's favorite song will not be liked by another person, and everyone has different favorites, and everyone has different comments to be made about it. So that's what makes the world go round, Everybody's
Absolutely.
a little bit different. So I don't take it personal. That's just the way it is.
Excellent. Well, yeah, and I'm sure that comes with a little bit of experience as well. I'm sure, not taking things personally when you're reading them, online or. Yeah.
Well, you know what? At age 52, I'm a late bloomer, and I'm just starting to learn that now. I'm just starting to learn that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and everybody likes different things. And I guess I think Jim and I are perfectionists in our own way, and when somebody responds in a negative way, Jim doesn't care. That's the way he is. He pretty much doesn't read much of anything. He stays to himself, and it doesn't matter to him. And I really kind of need to take that perspective. I think it would be much easier not to not read things, but to just totally understand that, hey, we did the best we could, and take all the variables into consideration. I'm 52. I've been out of this for so long, and to step back into this arena, I thought there would be a lot more criticism, but it's been pretty, the fans have been diehard and very complimentary and very nice about everything, so I couldn't ask for more, really.
And it's really the fans that matter, as opposed to somebody who may never have heard any of your previous work and not really care, and they've just been handed a CD and told to review it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true too. And some people are just looking for an argument, so they'll just post up and look for controversy. But that's true. I did read some things, about my vocals being quite a bit higher in the register, and not as high as Guardian this time around. I think it used more of a range. But there's comments about people that they're not used to that hearing those kind of vocals, and they think it should be more I should be more of an operatic singer than in the metal arena. But this is just how I've developed over the years, and to sing the way I sing and to sing with passion, that's just the way it comes out.
Absolutely,
it is what it is. Some people enjoy it and some people don't.
Fair enough. Now, speaking of your voice and how it's developed, being out of the the arena, so to speak, for about 8 years now, were you doing any singing on weekends or in the shower, or was it just strictly no singing at all for
nothing? No singing. When I was younger, it's funny. I used to, everywhere I drove, I'd have an Iron Maiden tape on or something, and I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs wherever I went singing. And this time around, it's like this was the hardest thing I think I've done in quite a long time. A Twist of Fate came around, and maybe because it was a shorter LP, I still had difficulties, but it seemed to iron themselves out a little bit quicker. This time, I think age being a common denominator and being away, this was by far the hardest, getting back into this, and it took quite a bit of time for me to even get my vibrato back. And I had no vibrato, my pitch was off, it was pretty scary, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. But, we kept, in parallel with writing and doing the demos, the more I sang, the better I sounded. So I said, I started getting a little bit more confident. I'm saying to myself, okay, well, maybe we can do this. Maybe my voice will come back. And by the end of the album, I was getting stronger. Probably not to the point that I really wanted to be, but I think it was good enough where it's representative of things that I've done in the past, and right. I thought I sounded okay. People have to understand. I think they do. Some people do. It's like that's not all done in one take. We worked long and hard, and I had to do retakes of some things. But that's the way it works in the studio. And then you get strong. You get stronger, and that's when you're able to sing each song all the way through, and then sing the whole album all the way through. And that's what I'm working on right now. In between catching a cold, there's so much crap going around. I'm trying to keep healthy, and I want to rehearse as much as possible. But there's been some obstacles lately. But as soon as I, am back at it again, that's what I'm doing. I'm still working on getting my voice into respectable shape. So, but I think the album is indicative of how my voice sounds in reality. I mean, and the studio definitely helps. A little bit of fairy dust here and there, and a lot of hard work. And I think I was happy with the outcome.
Was there, at what point do you think that you felt like you were ready to actually start singing in the studio? Was it, did you feel like you were doing it whether you were ready or not, because you didn't want to let Jim down, or was it you didn't want to let yourself down?
I think a little bit of both. I think with my personality, it takes a lot of prodding and a lot to get me into something and to get me motivated to do something. And once I'm in it, I'm in the middle of it, that's when I think I'm a kind of a Taurus, the bull, and then that's when I really, once I'm immersed in it, there's no turning back, and that's when, there's no options for me. It's like, I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to keep going. So, like I said before, I don't think I was ready, but luckily working with Jim in that environment in the studio in New Hampshire is nice because, it's kind of low-key. It's just Jim and I. I think we feel very comfortable with each other. And, I don't have an audience sitting there listening to every note I'm trying to reach, or during the recording. So it makes it so much easier knowing that in the back of my mind that we don't have the pressures. It's going to come together. Just relax, and it's going to take some time. I had to be reasonable with myself. I hadn't sang it so long. I just can't expect that just because I step in front of a microphone, it's going to sound good, because it didn't at first. It was horrifying for me. It's like, oh boy, I got a lot of work ahead of me. But again, we kept on writing and kept on working on it, and I think I kind of squeaked through by the hair of my chinny chin chin, so to speak. But now I'm in the process of getting my voice stronger. So do I ever think I'm ready? No, I don't think I'm ever ready. I think maybe back in the day when I was touring with the band and I was singing constantly and performing, I think that sets the stage for building confidence, because you do it so often. But being older and being out of that environment, having people having expectations of me and having expectations of myself, it's a frightening thing going into this. There's no doubt about it.
For sure. And now that the recording's done, that the album's out, and the response is coming back, not just from critics, but from fans and from a lot of people who have been really, really anticipating this record, you're feeling good about the finished product?
Yes, I do, because I guess if I have to gauge something, is if I like it, then I guess and I'm happy with the writing and the musicianship, and all the musicians that played on the album. I'm happy with all of that for sure. Again, I think when you sit back and you listen to whatever works you've done, you always kind of say, I wish I did this a little different, or I wish we could have done maybe one more song on this album or something. There's always something, but you have to at some point kind of just look at something for what it is and accept it. And I've done that with this album. I'm proud of it. I think all the songs are strong. I think the message lyrically that I'm trying to portray, it was real therapeutic for me. I'm happy with all aspects of it. Yeah, I can say I'm happy with it.
Lyrically, you were a little less. It was a little less behind a character on this one. A little bit more.
For sure.
A little bit more. You and kind of out front than in past writing.
Yeah, and I've heard people call it self-indulgent, and I agree, and that's exactly what I was going for. But you can call it self-indulgent, and I'm maybe singing about me and my experiences. But when you look at humans in general and who we are and what we are, I don't think it's self-indulgent at all, because when the listener can relate to what I'm saying, because we all go through experiences, and they're not all pleasant ones, and life is hard at times, and I think so a lot of the things that I was singing about can be related to by everybody, and so it's kind of a way of sharing with the fans too, when they can really relate to you with the music and the lyrics at the same time on a human level. I think it makes some kind of connection there, and I've learned that through passings that we've done, not just with the Twist of Fate. That was also very personal too, kind of not about the mythological theme like Awaken the Guardian, but the song Guardian itself, way back when, that was a real positive message, and so many people have come up to me and said what an impact it's made on them, because of the music, but also because of the lyrics. And I think I just got such such a good feeling out of that positive feedback, that I think I just took something, hard times for me, some experiences that have happened over the past 5 years, which I don't understand. I got blindsided with things that I just never knew were coming. But I took something that was negative and turned it into, I think, a positive. I turned it into music and something that I could share with the fans,
Absolutely. Well, and I think that being able to share with the fans and being that open and honest with the fans is something that resonates with a lot of people. Yeah,
I think so too. And to be honest with you, I don't know how obvious it's hard for me to gauge on how obvious I was with what I was trying to say. There are a lot of subliminal messages there that I don't think anyone really could possibly figure out what I'm trying to say at certain things, but they have special meanings for me. Mm-hmm. But they can be interpreted in so many different ways. I have some very definitive meanings behind what I'm singing about. But hey, you go to any genre of music, whether it be country, western, and everybody's singing about heartbreak and this and that,
Yeah.
And this is kind of no different in a way, but it's about a human experience. And when you listen to music and it moves you internally, man, it moves your soul, I think the lyrics have to be part of that. I can't sing about something that's totally nonsensical, and I'm not going to feel passionate about singing. So this was an opportunity for me to take something negative and turn it into a positive, but also the music that Jim had written, that when I started hearing the music, it really inspired me in that direction. I think there were so many movements of being in the long songs. There's times that it's hard driving, and there's times that were perfect for reflecting. And I just think I just can't hear these songs any other way now.
Now, we kind of touched on it a little bit, and you're talking a bit about getting your voice ready and getting your voice stronger. And I know there's been hints at a possible tour, or at least some live dates. Has there been anything talked about, or anything sort of laid out yet for a tour for you, or some dates as of yet?
Right. Well, this, of course, has always been like a sensitive subject, and it's like the number one question. Because I totally understand that a lot of the fans, even the long-term fans that have been around, they want to see a live show and they want to feel this power and this energy that that's on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the KIT Festival in Germany is one show that's confirmed. And for a myriad of reasons, I can't really mention anything else right now because really nothing is confirmed at this point.
Right.
But as far as logistics and the guys in the bands with their schedule and a lot of other reasons, all I can say is there's nothing else confirmed right now.
Gotcha.
Except for the KIT Festival. And that is for me. That is like, oh my God, so nerve-wracking. I can't tell you, but I'm going to be nervous until the day I step on stage and get into the third or fourth song. But that's what I'm talking about. As far as that show is confirmed, and I definitely need to get my shit together here to be able to reproduce, with some authentic, whatever the word is. To be authentic with the old stuff and the new stuff. I want to sing it the way it was written, for the most part. And God, a lot of years have passed by, and it's going to be difficult for me. But I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyways. And then what the future holds, it's still under. We're just going to have to, for now, just go by what I just said. I just, for a whole bunch of reasons, I just can't really.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Say much of anything else about that.
I completely understand that, but in preparation for the KIT Festival, some weekend karaoke perhaps to get you back out on the stage in front of a crowd.
That's funny. Where I get the best singing is when I get behind the wheel of my truck and I just put in a couple discs or something. People will think I'm probably having a seizure or something as I'm driving down the road when I'm singing, but it's like, I'm pushing as hard as I can, and it's got real good acoustics bouncing off the windshield. I got a nice monitor there, so that, and I don't know why I feel motivated as I'm driving to really sing. But other than that, it's downstairs in a rec room with speakers blasting and singing to the old stuff and doing a little bit of modification to make it more user friendly, but to also sound good.
Right.
So that's what I'm in the process of doing, and I'm popping vitamin C like crazy, trying to keep my immune system so I don't want to get sick. But I work basically in a germ factory right now, so it's hard to stay healthy, but doing my best.
I completely can. I have 2 young kids, so I can completely relate to that.
They're bringing home everything from
absolutely
everybody. They're building their immune systems now,
Yeah, building theirs and destroying mine all at the same time.
Yep. Yeah. Well, my son, before he went to school, he's 19 years old now, but before he went to school, never sick. We sent him to school. The kid's been sick ever since.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, John, thank you so much for taking some time to speak to me and for rushing home to give me a call. I really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. I'm sorry I kept you waiting.
Oh, as I said, no worries. No worries at all.